let's move into the first context of how to ask really good questions. It's known as a prompt. A question is a prompt. And I want to share with you a couple of frameworks that hopefully are easier to remember and easier to recall when you are asking questions. It's called prompt engineering. This skill set is going to give you the advantage, is going to give you back time, it's going to make you faster, better, and perform things easier. So the first framework is there, and the second framework is space. I hope you love the presentation. Um, Big kudos to Omar. I love the images in here. So let's get into the first one, space. And space is basically an acronym for specificity, purpose, audience, context, and efficiency. That is basically what the space guide means. Specificity, purpose, audience, context, and efficiency. And let's get into that so we can go step by step what that means. Remember, this is about asking really good questions to generative AI so you get amazing answers to make things easier, faster, better. So what space means, specificity, is basically to be able to ask clear request, a clear question to generative AI, whether it's Andy or ChatGPT, that will give you an excellent answer. And we're going to do in the next chapter more exercises. We're going to get right into it. There is a quick example in here that it's not, you're not going to get the same answer if you ask simply as tell me about climate change versus being specific and asking what are the leading causes of climate change according to recent studies. That's just a simple example. After specificity, purpose. What is the purpose? Why do you need to know? That is the purpose of your question. That will provide you a more specific answer, more valuable answer. It's going to be informative depending on your purpose. It could be persuasive, it could be entertaining, and also what type of format, right? Do you need an essay, a dialogue, an email, a bullet point, a list, a poem? That will basically give you the format. Then the audience. It's really important to know who is going to consume the answer, who's going to be the client for this answer. And why is this important? Because sometimes you want to write an email for your boss. Sometimes you want to explain a complicated concept to a junior engineer. My favorite is, for example, asking a question about, can you explain what a database is to a 5-year-old? And try that, and it will be way different than if you ask the question, can you explain a database to a computer science expert? And you will see the difference. That will provide very good results, especially for who is going to consume it, and especially when you keep in mind that the question you're going to ask is it going to be for yourself, is it going to be for somebody else? It will help you craft more value from generative AI. The context, just like any good question, why are you asking it? Purpose, why are you asking it? Context is important. It will improve the quality of your response. So you can provide the context like continuous story, summarize this email, summarize this presentation, summarize this document, or this is a complex situation. You want to maybe define roles, but providing the context is always going to be helpful to give you an amazing answer. And then the efficiency, be clear, be specific. Efficiency is really more about like what I have seen. Unless you have, like for example, Andy can connect to large databases. It can connect to equipment manuals, and it's optimized to learn from those manuals, which are the large data sets. But if you're using like a consumer version of ChatGPT, if you're using like Andy Pocket, it's not efficient if you're trying to upload, for example, a book. And these are limitations on processing capacity, and then limitations also on how much generative AI can retain. Think about it like memorize. So the longer the input, the worst is going to be your answer, because you're asking generative AI to have a lot of memory, to have a lot of data, and the actual computing processing restrictions, are going to limit your thinking, your processing to a certain amount of tokens. I don't want to get too scientific into the terminology of tokens, but tokens, think about like words. How many words can generative AI process efficiently? There is a limit, and it's different based on the version that you're using. Unless you're using an enterprise version like Andy, that will have a vast amount of memory. So just be mindful of that, and it will help you a lot to craft the right answer. So